Today, we're in the Dragonera Casino in beautiful St. Julian's, Malta, to talk about slot machines. What are they and how do they work? A slot game is a luck-based betting game consisting of rows and columns that you shuffle a number of symbols around after you place a small bet, and you hit the button to spin, giving you a chance to win money depending on if and how certain symbols are aligned. The actual spinning function is just a throwback to the old mechanical slot machines and has just been kept for its style and entertainment value. Slots these days are electronic or digital and don't actually need to spin to work, but we keep that spinning function because it's just so nostalgic and we love it so much. Each spin obviously costs money. That's a wager. That's why we call it gambling. And each wager has a small chance of making you win some money. So it's quite an addictive and fun type of game if played responsibly. On every spin, there's always a small chance of you hitting that big jackpot, which is of course a huge monstrous win, the largest win that particular machine will pay out. This of course happens very rarely, but the payout is usually quite large and quite satisfying. Normally you can choose how much to bet at every spin. The higher the wager, typically the more lines, meaning the more number of combinations of rows and columns that will be available to you to potentially hit that winning bet. While gameplay on slot machines is pretty ubiquitous across all machines, there is something to be considerate of at every individual machine that differs from machine to machine. The first thing I'm going to talk about today is the concept of volatility. What is volatility and how does it work? Well, essentially volatility is that every single particular slot game has a particular amount of winning percentages and potential payouts it'll make. A machine with a low volatility means that that machine will pay out often, but the payouts are relatively small, while a machine with a high volatility will pay out a lot more, but a lot less often. I'm going now for, of course, a full house. So if I get another 3 or another 10, full house! Yeah! Another thing to be considerate of is high and low payout rates. The payout rate is the percentage of money that you put into the slot that will eventually be paid out again over the long run. And I do mean the long run, because the percentage usually fluctuates between 85% and 98%. So it's best to look out for games with a high payout rate to maximize your chance. To be clear, this does not mean if you put $100 in a slot machine with a 98% payout rate that you'll be getting $98 back. It means that over a long period of time, be it weeks, months, or years, that 98% of the money put into it will be paid out. Now, with millions of spins being made mathematically, the slot should eventually meet a number around that percentage. You can definitely win big in the short term, and that's what you should be aiming for when playing slots. If you just sit at a slot for ages, don't expect to make your money back in the long run, as mathematically, that is highly unlikely. The best strategy for you is play in these short bursts. Cross your fingers and just hope to have some fun. The next concept I'd like to talk about is the concept of pay lines. Every single slot game has them. It's essentially an invisible line that can be drawn from between rows and columns. Every machine has a minimum number and a maximum number of potential pay lines. And if a combination of symbols lines up in that particular pay line, you will have an actual payout. So the more pay lines you have, the better your chances of getting a potential payout. Let's talk about bonus games for a second. These new modern slot games all have these mini games or bonus games associated with them. And you activate these bonus games by aligning a certain combination of symbols in your original betting spin. And this is kind of like a free opportunity to win some more money. And these mini games typically give the actual slot machine a lot more character, and it kind of corresponds to whatever theme the actual slot machine has. Now, they consist of you picking a correct number of icons on the screen to reveal these bonus wins. But I'd like to point out that these wins and losses in these bonus games are not predetermined, and they're more determined based on the fact that you press the right icons at the right time. It's worth looking up these bonus games beforehand so you find the particular bonus game that is most entertaining to you. On the subject of bonus games, let's talk about bonuses that casinos offer new players. Essentially, though, what's important to know is that a casino will give new players an incentive to come in the form of free money for bets. But these bets typically have what's called a wager requirement. Essentially, you're required to wager a certain amount of money before you can cash out on that free money they gave you in the first place. While it seems maybe like you're going to end up spending more money in order to get that money, it's a great new way to introduce players to new casinos and new games. Educate yourself on what the wager requirements are before accepting any sort of bonus structure. Let's talk for a second about progressive slots. Now, there are different types of slot games out there. Normally with slots, the jackpot is fixed. Essentially, there is a certain amount of money that you can win if you get the correct alignment of symbols in the various columns and rows. This is called a fixed jackpot. But with progressive slots, the jackpot is not fixed and is instead comprised of a pool of money that is contributed to every single time you make a spin. So the potential jackpot you can win grows and grows and grows the more you play. In addition to this, the jackpot will even grow from the contribution of other players who are playing that same particular slot game. All of them are competing, so to speak, to win it. It's a slot game that you should play if you're looking to win big. But the most important thing to remember about these progressive slots is that the chance of you winning a progressive jackpot is significantly lower than winning a fixed jackpot, since the win is so massive in comparison. It's kind of comparable to winning the lottery, so good luck. I'd love to be able to tell you how to win at slot games, but the truth is, they're purely random. It's just a matter of luck. Every single slot machine runs on what's known as a random number generator. And essentially, if that number comes up at any particular time when you happen to be playing, you're going to win big. So rest assured, though, that these random number generators are all vetted by the gaming and gambling authorities to make sure that they are fair and balanced. If you're concerned that a particular online casino is fair and balanced, you can go ahead and check out our casino guide that we've got on our website, americacasinoguide.com. We've vetted dozens of various online casinos, and we've given honest feedback to how we feel about their particular gaming and potential payouts on all their machines. One last thing that's important to consider is this misconception that slot players have about hot or cold machines, as if there's a certain time when a slot is simply programmed to give out less money, while at other times it would be programmed to be hot and more prone to sending out those big wins. This is simply not true. And the end result of any particular spin of a slot game is completely random chance. Humans, though, are naturally inclined to try to find patterns and then be able to blame the slot for their loss, or say that the slot simply was in a hot period when they won. Remember, it's all completely random. The most important thing to be considerate of is to be responsible with your playing. Make sure to set a budget before you come to the casino. And this budget should consist of money that you are 100% okay with losing. Because at the end of the day, this is gambling. And understand that there's no guarantee of winning anything, and you could potentially lose it all. If you happen to be one of those lucky few who finds themselves winning it big, just stop. Walk away from the machine, because if you continue playing in order to win more or even win bigger, you put yourself at the risk of losing that big win and even potentially reaching into losses. Also, if you find yourself in a streak of losses and you've exceeded that budget, don't go any deeper, because what you're doing is you're just digging yourself deeper into a hole that you can't really afford. The most important thing is always have fun and play responsibly. So now you're hopefully ready to go out there and win it big at the slot games. If you have any questions or comments about anything I said today, make sure to leave it as a comment down below. And while you're at it, make sure to punch that subscribe button, ring-a-ding-ding that notification bell, clickety-clack that like button, and make sweet, sweet love to that share button, because sharing is caring, and it's the only way we're gonna grow this channel to the level we expect it should be at. My name's Dominic. This is the All-American Casino Guide, wishing you good luck and reminding you, play responsibly. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune, Miss Liberty America. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing. 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 All right. Looks like we're not doing so hot here, so... Oh, all right. Here we go. Let's go to a different machine. Okay, let's see. What do we want to play? We gotta play out here. I'm gonna need some more money. Shit, did I just blow oh my God, I was playing like €8 a spin here. All right, so now I've entered a mini game and it's asking me choose a suit, red, black, or take win. I'm gonna choose always red. For that straight. Ooh, wow! See, that's the real fun of gambling, man. You know, even when you win small amounts, you feel like a winner. Oh wow, I'm up. I'm up big, actually. I just realized. I'm thinking of a stroke of bad luck here. I should have stopped when I was up. I should have really stopped when I was up. I didn't even take my own advice. Okay, I'm just gonna play this game for no other reason than I like the name. Bonus Maximus. Bonus Maximus is not so Maximus here. So now I'm going to go to play back at the video poker, the 5-card draw poker video machine, because I had the most luck there. I was actually up at one point. So let's go ahead and see what that's like. All right. 3 diamonds. Pair of jacks. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Guys, you have to remember that whenever you gamble, you always set a budget. And that's exactly what we did for today. We had an exact amount of money that we were willing to lose here at the casino. You know, in hopes that we were going to hit it big, though. And we didn't. So we lost the money that we brought to the casino today, and that's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, we had fun. And having fun is the most important step, okay? Remember that, and you'll never lose. Oh, apparently we have $10 more.